everyone, it's Lisa with InkandInspirations.com. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're going to be putting together this project with some of the Christmas themed, the Candy Cane Lane Suite and the Cookie Cutter Christmas set from the Stampin' Up! Holiday catalog that goes live on September 1st. Now, it is a remake of this Halloween project that I did recently, and so let's get started. I already have some cutting and scoring done, but let me just tell you here that this is a 6.5 by 8.5 piece of the Candy Cane Lane Designer Series paper. And on the 6.5 inch side, okay, it is scored at 1.5, 3, 4.5, and 6. And then I turned it and scored it at 1.5 and 7.5, okay? And now we're going to do some trimming with our paper snips, and I can see this side of the paper better, so I'm just gonna come up here and slice it off. I love these little peppermint candy cane themed in this designer paper. It's so cute, and it also has like a gingerbread theme in the colors of crumb cake, early espresso, whisper white, and I believe that's real red or cherry cobbler. I'm using real red today as my accent pieces. Okay, so now I'm also going to show you that this end here is a smaller tabbed end than this. This is going to be our top, but for both sides, we're going to cut up on these intersecting score lines. To form the top and the bottom tabs. The bottom, of course, will be closed. The top will have a different opening and closure for the top. Okay, just cutting on these score lines, just like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take it and put some adhesive here. I'm going to use some Fast Fuse so that it'll hold together nicely. And I should have put my silicone sheet beneath my work surface there, on top of the work surface, so I wouldn't have gotten adhesive there. Okay, so where this is, that's our back. So we're gonna close down the two sides, then the back flap, and then the front flap is gonna go over it. And I can see these little treat boxes filled with candy canes or peppermints as stocking stuffers to put in a stocking. Okay, I'm going to put my bone folder down in there and press to make sure that that's really good and tight. Okay, so these two are going to go like this, and then I'm going to pull these two front and back tabs together and take my 1/8 inch circle punch, handheld circle punch, and punch a hole there. And now let's do some stamping. I have a piece, about a 4x4 piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I have the little gingerbread man from this cute Cookie Cutter Christmas set. And I'm going to take my early espresso ink, get my Stampin' Pierce mat to give me a good surface beneath it. Now this stamp set and the Cookie Cutter Builder Punch that I'm going to be using here in a minute is a bundled, it's a bundled price for the Christmas, Cookie Cutter Christmas. And if you purchase the bundle, which is the stamp set, the Christmas, Cookie Cutter Christmas set, and the punch, you get it at a 10% discount. Okay. We're going to make him do, he's kind of splotchy. I'm going to do him over. Let's ink him up again. And then you can get additionally the Cookie Cutter Halloween that I used on yesterday's project for the little skeleton. And you can use this punch with both of those. Okay, so now I'm going to punch him out. And I'll have some extra. Okay. And then I have some little pieces that punched out, but I don't need those for this one, so I'm going to put those aside. I've got my enamel shapes in brights, and so I'm going to use 2 of those for the buttons on the gingerbread man. Just give him a pop of color. Then I have one of the 2015-2017 in color doilies. I just picked a color. This is the Midnight Quran, but I'm going to use the back side of this, and I'm going to just pop up that little gingerbread man on top of that. And place him right here. And his buttons are a little off, but that's okay. He's cute. Okay, and then he is going to go right there on the front there. And then I have a strip, 2 strips actually. One of crumb cake that's 1/2 inch wide and about 5 or 6 inches long. And then a strip of real red cardstock cut at 3/4 of an inch wide and about 6 inches long. It's just some scraps I had, and I'm going to use that for my sentiment. And I'm going to ink that in early espresso, and then I'm going to stamp that in the middle of this crumb cake piece. It says, "Warm, heartfelt greetings for a very Merry Christmas." And then I'm going to take my paper snips and just banner these ends like that. Then I'm going to layer this real red strip behind it, just like this. Okay. And shadow that same little cut that I made so that I can have a contrasting border piece behind it. Okay, let me go ahead and adhere that. And I'm going to put that on the front here. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere my gingerbread man to the front of our box. Then take and put some adhesive right in the center there to put on that part. And then I have our coordinating twine that is in the holiday catalog that goes along with this suite. And I'm just going to leave it on the spools, thread it through the hole in the front, and then again through the back hole. Of course, I would have already stuffed this with some sugary goodness, probably peppermints or candy canes, and then just pull it through. And now I can go ahead and trim off so that I could tie a bow. And when this designer paper is very sturdy, not quite as sturdy as our cardstock, but if you're careful with what you put inside, and if you're just using like little peppermints or candy canes, nothing too heavy, this will work just fine. Okay, there are our 2 little Christmas, cookie cutter Christmas treat boxes, and they are the Christmas companion to this Halloween set that was created with the cookie cutter Halloween. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for joining me and tuning in, and I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.